Welcome to Coach Eye Studio. Today we are continuing our topic on exception handling in Java. From this point, we will continue in English. So let's get started. This is my employee service. Okay. I can do some tests. Okay. So see here, there is only one record. 2 is here. Okay. Rajkumar. In the table, if I see only one record. Okay. If the user currently enter 1 to find that, still it will give the OK response. But there is no record because we have only one record in our table. So it is incorrect. That's why we are come into the picture exception handling. Okay. We have to give the correct status code, correct message to the user. Okay. Let's create exception. Okay. Before jump into the topic, there is a two way to create the exception. One is for checked exception and another one is for unchecked exception. Check the exception. So for example, extend the exception class to create a checked exception. Okay, we have to extend the exception class to create that. Okay. Unchecked exception is nothing but we have to extend the runtime exception to create that. That was not in our hand. So while running our application, then only we can get that exception. That is for runtime exception, you can say. Okay. Let's create a exception for this. Okay. Now we have to create, for this scenario, we are going to create a exception. First, we need to create a custom exception. I can go create a package exception. I think already there is a package, right? Already created a package. Here it is. So I'll create one class here. Class for employee not found. Employee not found. Okay. So we have to extend, this is the runtime exception. Runtime exception. Okay, we have to create a constructor. Public employee not found exception. Pass the ID. Super. Employee ID. Not. Okay. Next, one more exception. We have to create a global exception. Okay. Global exception. So you have a question. Why we are creating a global exception on that? So it is like a production ready feature. So primarily we are using for global exception handler for production ready features. It's like a centralized management, consolidating error logic in one place simplifies maintenance and reduce code duplicates across different layer of the application. It is a centralized management. Okay. And also it is a cleaner business logic by removing try catch blocks from controller and services. The main code remains focused on its primary functionality function responsibilities. Okay, that's the reason we are creating a global exception handler. Okay, let's create global exception handler. So while creating global exception handler, we have to use this controller advice. This controller advice. Okay, had exception handler object response entity. We have to import our or no. So we have to create one more class, D2 class. For example, we are giving some response to user, right? So what response we are going to give? Okay. Error response. I think I already created. Here it is. Okay. I just created error response data. Data is like nothing but we are creating a getter setup for this. Here I'm creating a constructor in status error message. Okay. Why I'm not adding the timestamp here? Because I'm manually setting the local time. Okay. Java dot time dot local time dot now. This is the package I'm using. Okay. Then so I just use this error response. Okay. Handle employee not found exception. Not found. The class we have to import exception. Error response. Okay. Error new error response. No. Okay, we have to use the HTTP status. Not found. When not found. Then dot get message. Return. We have to return response entity dot status. What status we have to give? HTTP status dot not found. Body and the bodies is waiting handler. You have to employee not found exception though. Plus okay. Error response not a web framework. We have to import from the service.ttl. Okay. This is the one we have to import. Then the service layer, right? We have to add some logic change. Where the get ID. Okay, all is nullified. So here we need to change to the exception class. Okay, to change this is or else oh lambda expression you employ our own exception. Calling this and passing the ID to here. That's all. Then in controller, right, we have to change it. Yeah, so you see response entity employee. Here the return type where I we have to return the response entity. Response entity dot okay. I have to pass this information. That's all. That's all. Let's restart it. Okay, it is restarted. Now we can pass the same thing. Okay, now you got the response, right? Here a status code 404, error not found, message employee ID 1 not found. Timestamp, current timestamp. Okay, it is clean and easy. If I pass 2, I will get the response. Okay, I have created some more class also. Okay, the same kind of exception. Department not found exception. The same extend the runtime exception, pausing the created the constructor. Okay, then product not same kind of exceptions. Okay, next global exception. This is the one we already saw. This is the department not found exception. Same, I'm using the error response code. The same kind of things I'm calling. Project not found. Okay. Then illegal argument exception. Okay. Response entity and the bad red bus. Okay. This is for exception term. Custom exception. If any server, internet server error, an error occurred, please try again, something maybe. It is related to server errors. Then when the user enters the ID, it is not present in the database, it will be throw some error message like this. Okay. Now the employee is fine. Let me check the project as well. Department. Let me check first department. How many IDs are there? Totally 4. Okay. If I search by 5, it will be throw the same kind of error. Department not found. Okay. Next, the same kind of scenario I can test for project as well. Okay. First, let me check how many projects are there. Totally 3 projects are there. I can check the 4th project. project not found. Okay. These all methods we return inside this. We created a custom exception, right? These all are returning that. Okay. So the get by ID method is all done. Now we can check for put method. Okay. 5 ID is not available. So if I try to update with the ID 5, it will be throw the unexpected error record. So if you see here, this is the one we return in 500 error. Okay. The same use case for all because we updated for globally, right? Same. For employee also same. For employee, for not found. Okay. It will be told up 4 not 4, not found. Because it is, we updated, right? ID. Employee not found. This one is done. Okay. That's. So now we can test the delete scenario. Okay. Deport none, delete. Here the scenario is I'm not passing any JSON. Okay. I'm just going to delete the worst department. So it will be true 204, no content. Okay. The same scenario I can check for project as well. What is the project? How many projects are there? I'm going to delete the first project. The same no content will be displayed. It's for all. Going to delete the second no content. We have to pass the JSON for all the delete scenarios. Thank you.